notice requirement provided for the open public meeting law has been satisfied. Notice was properly given, said notice having been transmitted to the Courier News and Star Ledger on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2018, as well as posting on the bulletin board in the city clerk's office. May I have a roll call, please?
Council members Good.
Present.
Councilman Hockey.
Here.
Councilman Storch. Is absent during roll call. Councilwoman Tolliver.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Vice President Mills Ransom.
Present.
Council President McCray.
Present.
You have 6 members present in the quorum, Council.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all those who work for justice and peace. Amen.
Amen.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of April 9th, 2018? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Ceremonial matters. We will now have Director Riley come forward.
Good evening. This is a proclamation for 3 of our detectives that were involved in an unfortunate incident back in April where they're involved in a police-involved shooting, but thank goodness none of the officers were injured, as well as the suspect was not injured. And we're thankful to their training and their due diligence and apprehension was made, and I anticipate the suspect's going to go away for a very long time. That is very bad. So this is a proclamation on behalf of the Office of the Mayor, Mayor Adrian O'Map, and I'd like to read it to you guys before you get started. Whereas the City of Plainfield's Police Division is a professional police operation committed to ensuring the safety and security of all residents. And whereas on April 4th, 2018, members of the Plainfield Police Division responded to a gunfire within the City of Plainfield. Whereas Detectives James Williams, Detective Pierre McCall, Detective Stephen Knox were the first responders and were confronted by an armed subject who opened fire on the detectives while they were still inside the patrol vehicle. And whereas under fire, Detective Williams engaged in a foot pursuit with the suspect who committed the fire at him as Detectives McCall and Knox were still in the vehicle as it collided with a street sign. And whereas part of a collective effort, the subject was apprehended with no injuries and brought to justice for his crimes upon others. And whereas the City of Plainfield administration and council acknowledge and recognize the courageous and heroic actions of Detective James Williams, Detective Pierre McCall, and Detective Stephen Knox for their bravery and dedication to duty. Their actions reflect the heroism of a police officer facing a violent offender while now able to maintain their composure and to bring the incident to a peaceful resolution. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Adrian O'Map, Carl Riley speaking on his behalf, Mayor of the City of Plainfield, do hereby acknowledge the heroic actions of Detective Williams, Detective McCall, Detective Stephen Knox on this 14th day of May 2018 for going beyond the call of duty, and ask that all in attendance join in congratulations and recognizing their enormous sacrifice for the city of Plainfield and public safety. Thank you. just like to say one additional thing, a few things actually, before we get going. I'm going to read a few things here. I'd like to mention that many members of the police division perform acts of greatness and kindness daily to help Plainfield residents become a safe and prosperous city. I want everyone to know, just because we don't always recognize them in council meetings, which I wish we could all the time, but unfortunately we can't, they're always appreciated and recognized by members of my command staff, other officers, internally and externally, for doing a great job. Here are some examples. On May 5th of this past year, Officer Garrett Johnson received a Meritorious Service Award from the New Jersey State Law Enforcement Officers Foundation for an arrest of a shooting suspect with a handgun immediately after the shooting. Also on May 7th, Lieutenant Johnny Henderson received a Unity Award from the Union County Human Relations Commission. On May 8th, Officer Miles Harrison received the 2018 Volunteer Award of the Year for the City of Plainfield from the Union County Municipal Alliance. On May 11th, Detective Metz, as well as Detective McCall here, received the Valor Award from the Union County 200 Club for arresting a violent felon with a handgun in which a major struggle ensued. And they actually apprehended the suspect. In continuing, I'd like to recognize these below individuals as well. Officer Andre Johnson received an excellent duty bar for a handgun arrest in the past. Officer Garrett Johnson received an excellent duty bar for a handgun arrest in the past. Officer James Addison received an excellent duty bar for a handgun arrest. Officer Carlos Maldonado received an excellent duty bar for a handgun arrest. Officer Jasper Bresky received a combination bar for a handgun recovery with a followed with a federal conviction. Officer Byron Oliver received a letter of recognition as he helped residents in distress from a fire. Police aide Deborah Barlow received a civilian combination bar as she prevented a prisoner from committing suicide in a jail cell. I'd like to point out that all these gun arrests, I believe 7 of them, resulted in no major harm to any of the citizens, any of the suspects, or our police officers. I'd like to thank all members of my command staff, Captain O'Brien, Lieutenant Fusco, who were on scene that initial night of the shooting, who locked the scene down, and I tell you, if it wasn't for these gentlemen locking the scene down, I believe we could have possibly had more casualties. It's very much appreciated, so I want to thank you guys for that. So I'd like to thank members of the public and everybody here for their support. I know you guys don't always hear what we do, but our men and women work hard to keep the city safe. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
Councilwoman Tolliver.
We'd like to call up Sincere Malone and his family. City of Plainfield Municipal Council hereby issues this resolution honoring Sincere Malone for his record-breaking performance at the Silver and Bronze Championship, introduced by Councilwoman Diane Tolliver. Whereas Sincere Malone, a young, talented, phenomenal swimmer and lifelong resident of the City of Plainfield, found his desire for swimming at a tender age of 4. And whereas Sincere Malone, a student of Plainfield High School, participated in various swimming competitions across the country, including Texas, North Carolina, Patterson, and Puerto Rico, and recently broke the high school 100-yard breaststroke record during the Silver Bronze Championship in New Providence. This notable school record has not been broken in over 38 years. And whereas Sincere Malone recognized that his many mentors and coaches played a huge role in his success, and he appreciates the motivation they instilled in him. Through his coaches, which include Coach James Skimmick, Coach Aaron Gibbs, Coach Chance Sears and Coach Caleb Williams, Sincere Malone learned about the sport of swimming and was introduced to Plainfield Adequate Club PAC, with whom he traveled for various swimming competitions. And whereas with Sincere Malone's success came the title of Most Valuable Player for Plainfield High School swim team, and now therefore be it resolved, in recognition of his noteworthy endeavors, the Plainfield City Council in the County of Union, State of New Jersey, hereby congratulates Sincere Malone and look forward to his continued success. And be it further resolved that duly authenticated copy of this resolution adopted by the Plainfield Municipal Council and attested by the Plainfield Municipal Clerk be transmitted to Sincere Malone.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, are there any communications from the mayor?
Yes, we have correspondence dated May 9, 2018, addressed to members of the governing body, making notification of the appointment of Carmen C. Pyle as a Class 1 member of the Plainfield Planning Board. Additionally, the mayor has submitted the following nominees for advice and consent from the City Council: Luis Kalagi on the Plainfield Alcohol and Beverage Control, Pixie Williams, Plainfield Youth Commission, and Cynthia Blake as the city's qualified purchasing agent.
Please note that the Citizens Budget Advisory Committee report, which was given at last week's agenda fixing session, can be found on the city website and obtained in the city clerk's office. We thank you again for your hard work and commitment. May I have a motion to open the floor for a public hearing on the fiscal year 2018 Plainfield Municipal Introduced Budget as has been advertised? Move.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. The floor is now open.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nimrod Webb, 1000 South Avenue, Plainfield, New Jersey. First, I'd like to wish all the mothers a happy belated Mother's Day. Without us, we wouldn't be around. I want to talk about the ordinance amending, is it MC?
This is only for the budget.
Oh, the budget. I'm sorry. I'll get to Mother's Day again.
Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the floor? Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unfinished business. There will be a need to convene a special meeting on Monday, May 21st, 2018, at 7 p.m. for the adoption of the fiscal year 2018 budget with amendments set forth by the state. We will have a quorum for that meeting date.
Is there a consensus to have the meeting date for the May 21st meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Clerk, please read NC 2018-09 by title and further certify that the ordinance has been complied with all statutory publication requirements.
MC 2018-09 is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. It is hereby certified that notice of the public hearing on this ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14, 2018.
The floor is now open to any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance. Can we please have the phone step out and take the call? May I have a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance?
Move, Dr. President.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law. Roll call, please.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a roll call?
Council members Good,
Yes.
Hockaday,
Yes.
Tolliver,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on second reading.
Mr. Clerk, please read MC 2018-10 by title and further certify that the ordinance has complied with all statutory publication requirements.
MC 2018-10 is an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 16, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 8, Loading Zones for Church Street. It's hereby certified that the notice of this public hearing on the ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14, 2018.
The floor is now open to the public. Any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance? May I have a motion to close public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law?
Move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Council members Good,
Yes.
Hockaday,
Yes.
Tolliver,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on second reading and final passage.
Mr. Clerk, please read MC 2018-11 by title and further certify that the ordinance has complied with all statutory publication requirements.
MC 2018-11 is an ordinance amending the schedule of salaries and wages adopted pursuant to Article 14, Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plainfield, New Jersey, and that is the Plainfield Municipal Employees Association, PMEA. It's hereby certified that notice of the public hearing on this ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14, 2018.
The floor is now open to any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance. Hearing none, may I have a motion to close public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Council members Good,
Yes.
Hockaday,
Yes.
Tolliver,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on second reading and final passage.
Mr. Clerk, please read MC 2018-12 by title and further certify that the ordinance has complied with all statutory publication requirements.
MC 2018-12 is an ordinance amending the schedule of salaries and wages adopted pursuant to Article 14, Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plainfield, New Jersey, 1971. It's a salary amendment for the United Service Workers Union, Local 255. It's hereby certified that notice of the public hearing on this ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14, 2018.
The floor is now open for any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the floor?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call?
Council members Good,
Yes.
Hockaday,
Yes.
Tolliver,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on second reading and final passage.
Mr. Clerk, please read MC 2018-13 by title and further certify that the ordinance has complied with all statutory publications requirements.
MC 2018-13 is an ordinance amending the schedule of salaries and wages adopted pursuant to Article 14, Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plainfield, New Jersey. It's a salary amendment for PBA Local 19, rank and file. It's hereby certified that notice of the public hearing on this ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14, 2018.
The floor is now open to any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance.
John E. Pritchard, formerly of 723 Arlington Avenue, Plainfield, now 42-44 West Holly Street, Cranford. I'm in favor of 2018-13 and 14. Our police officers are putting their lives on the line every day for us, day and night. And it should be made clear to everyone that anyone who files a false complaint against anyone, police officer or no, could be considered a criminal act. Thank you.
May I have a motion to close public comment? All in favor? May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law? Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a roll call?
Council members Good.
Yes.
Councilman Hockaday.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Lozrance.
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on second reading and final passage.
Mr. Clerk, please read MC 2018-14 by title and further certify that the ordinance has complied with all statutory publications requirements.
MC 2018-14 is an ordinance amending the schedule of salaries and wages adopted pursuant to Article 14, Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plainfield, New Jersey, 1971. It's a salary amendment for PBA Local 19 superior officers. It is hereby certified that notice of the public hearing on this ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14th, 2018.
The floor is now open to any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close public comment? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a roll call?
Council members Good.
Yes.
Hockaday.
Yes.
Tolliver.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Lozrance.
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on second reading.
Mr. Clerk, please read MC 2018-15 by title and further certify that the ordinance has complied with all statutory publication requirements.
MC 2018-15 is an ordinance amending Chapter 3 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plainfield entitled Agencies and Boards, Article 37, Special Improvement District. It's hereby certified that notice of the public hearing on this ordinance was published in the Courier News on April 14, 2018.
The floor is now open to any member of the public who would like to speak on this ordinance.
Yes. Hi. Hi, how you doing? I'm over down. Hey, Kim. My
Name
business,
and address to the clerk.
pardon me?
Name and address.
Oh, Lori Trachtenberg, and the address of my business is 140 East Fifth Street. We are in the SID district. We pay the SID tax, which is the Special Improvement District. We do not want the city to control the SID. We do not want the mayor to appoint the council or the city council to appoint the SID committee. There would be no control over how the SID runs or uses the funds or how they appoint new committee members. There would be no oversight on the budget or agenda to the public. The city is trying to find new revenue stream and it feels that it can take over the SID, and we object. Thank you.
Webb, 1000 South Avenue. Sorry about that before, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten yet. You've just heard beautiful telling about, you all know about the SID. We've been over, in business over 10 years, nobody's complained. Everybody likes the way we run it. I brought up Mother's Day because I can go on and on about all the good things we've done for the town, working with the city and everything else, but let me ask you, every one of you, one question. You don't have to answer me. If you vote against somebody who's done good work that nobody has complaints about, what would your mother think of that vote? That's all I want you to think about. What would your mother think of voting against somebody who's done nothing wrong? and taking care of everything and try to work with the city so many years. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Jeff Spellman. I live at 1151 Gresham Road. I'm also a business member within the SID district. I am in support of the new municipal SID. With all respect for the SID that has been here previously, I think it's time for a modernization of the SID. What I like about this new structure is, as well as having a management board, it is having an advisory board. So I think that by having 2 groups of 7, this will give us greater room for diversity of thought and ideas. I think we have opportunities to modernize as far as print and social media, multilingual, streetscapes, networking for businesses, etc. I don't think it's just a rubber stamp of the mayor or the administration, as I understand that the members of these 2 boards will be put in front of this board for, or this council for advice and consent. And I understand very much like a planning board or zoning board or other city agencies, it's made up of volunteers, of people who are in Plainfield or represent businesses in Plainfield. So I don't think it's just a rubber stamp, but I think it will be a group of people who will use their own thoughts, will connect with business owners, community members, etc. And I'm really excited to see what this can do for our city in its time of exciting growth. Thank you.
Nancy Pure, 1129 Myrtle Avenue. A question about this. They will have to follow the Open Public Meetings Act, and their meetings will be posted for the public to participate?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Miguel, and last name is Vargas.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Good evening. My name is, first name is Miguel, M-I-G-U-E-L, and Vargas is my last name, V-A-R-G-A-S. I have a business. I am on behalf of 536 South Avenue. I am actually in pro of what the city is planning to do, create this new corporation to promote business, and I hope you know the members included in the advisory board are inclusive. You know, there are different individuals with different backgrounds that will be able to help, to assist to the new management corporation. I don't have nothing against SID. However, indirectly or informally, I always complain and wonder what they were doing and what was the money for. I've been here in Plainfield for 22 years. I have 2 properties and recently acquired another property. And I was never approached by them. I never saw any, I never experienced anything that they do that helped me or my business. Therefore, I believe we do need something new, something that will help promote businesses. It's a fantastic city. I think everything is going well, and I hope we all cooperate in one way or another to make it better. But I wonder if this is the correct time. I do have a question regarding the new central business. I was reading it, and in one of the pages in item 3, it says, I wonder if that is, I'd like to see if somebody tells me, the new corporation will accept gifts, donations, and money, or money. And I was wondering what is that about? An example of who will come with money and how will we accept that, and who will that be?
Council President, if I may address the question. Simply, the ordinance allows for the CID to accept any monetary donations. If there was an organization that wanted to make a donation, the only way they could do that was authorized by the ordinance. So I think that's what you're referring to. There's no one specifically, but it allows the SID to accept donations if the situation arose.
Okay. I myself would think that would be inappropriate. One is because individuals like myself, hard workers that are just making it, will not have the money for gifts to the city. But somebody is going to come in, a businessman, somebody with a lot of money, is going to give them a gift and be able to probably acquire a permit, business, or do anything probably to, because he's able to provide gifts or money or provide, that seems to be inappropriate. That doesn't seem to be a good way to, a fair way to everybody.
Well, sir, first off, the city cannot provide any permits or any, there's no opportunity. The sole purpose of the city is to advance the interests of the business owners here in town. But there may be opportunities where foundations want to support generally, not specifically to any business, but generally the interests of economic development here in the city. And they would be able to do that because the ordinance allows that. So to answer your question, I wouldn't be concerned with any preferential treatment for one business over another. I don't see that, that situation could not arise.
All right, well, thank you. Okay, then, actually, in the next paragraph, I don't want to take your valuable time anyway, but I do have another question. It says, Part B, section 3.37-2 findings. It mentions that the new corporation will provide administrative services to benefit the business. If somebody can give me an example of an administrative service that a new corporation will provide to a business in Plainfield. It says right here, I don't know.
Sir, I would offer that the management corporation would be in the best position once constituted to determine what administrative services could be offered under the budget. So ultimately, the city council here is just attempting to create a new management structure. What they do with that and the administrative functions that it would take on would be that new management corporation's decision.
Yeah, I understand, but if they are going to vote, I'm sure they want to know what they're voting for, what this new corporation is going to do, right? And that's my concern. If this management corporation is going to provide administrative services to a business in Plainfield, it could be that maybe...
Council President, speaker's time's up. Your time is up, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Those services are going to go only...
Your time is up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Council President, may I provide some additional clarification?
John E. Pritchard, 42-44 Holly Street, Cranford, formerly of 723 Arlington Avenue, Plainfield. On resolution 188-18, I am in favor of that. Our firefighters, like our police officers, risk their lives day in and day out.
We're not on that resolution now.
Oh, sorry.
Can I come up and ask a question? No?
Seeing no more, can I have a motion to close public comment? Second. All in favor? May I have a motion to adopt this ordinance on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, the ordinance shall be published as required by law?
So moved.
Thank you, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a roll call, please?
Council members Good.
Yes.
Hockaday.
Yes.
Tolliver.
No.
Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom.
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
It's 5 in favor, 1 opposed. The resolution has been adopted on second reading and final passage.
A total of 30 minutes has been allocated for the public comments limited to resolutions and ordinance being considered this evening. If you wish to be heard, please give your name and address to the clerk for the record. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes. The floor is now open.
John E. Pritchard, formerly of 723 Arlington Avenue, Plainfield, now 42-44 West Holly Street, Cranford, New Jersey. As I was saying, I'm in favor of 188-18. Our firefighters are risking their lives, like our police officers, day in and day out. When they get an alarm, they go, no questions asked. When an alarm is sounded, they go. They do their duties to fight fires, disasters, and try to save others, to try to save a life, probably perhaps a home or a business. As I said before, our firefighters are out there, like our police officers, are out there every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I don't like those wild people saying, what do you want, dead farm, when do we want it now? That type of nonsense, I don't cotton to anyway. We back our firefighters and we back our police officers. They will come through for you. They will come through for all of us. Thank you.
Harold Hughes, 1353 Cushing Road. It's been a long time since I've been to these meetings, but there is one resolution that really concerns me because it has to do with my money and all taxpayers' money in the city. And that is, I believe, 18518, where there is a payment authorized for $450,000 without any explanation of why such a high sum of money is being paid. This sort of reminds me of the Yates resolution where they gave, I believe, $375,000 when the original bill was 71 and nobody ever knew why. But in this particular case, I've heard rumors that there was a racial bigotry question involved. And at least one thing we should be assured of is that the purpose of that biased action has been properly dealt with. We have no information. I don't know whether any member of the council knows it or knows why and the breakdown is there. But until there is some transparency with so much money, taxpayers' money being spent, I believe we deserve more information than we are given here. Thank you.
Council President, just to respond to the speaker, just to clarify the record, all council members were apprised of this and all ongoing litigation in closed session, executive session before the board. Being that it is a litigated matter, the state law allows for municipalities to go into closed session to protect attorney-client privilege, which we have done. So, unfortunately, I would once again recommend to council members that we do not discuss this matter in open session because it is confidential. But I want to make clear to everyone that council was apprised of this matter at length in closed session. Thank you.
Could I have one more statement? Can you just clarify the source of the funds, whether or not they're taxpayer funds?
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman. The funds for this proposed settlement, which council will vote on tonight, is all through insurance money, not city funds. It is insured through the Public Entity Joint Insurance Fund, and all the funds will be from that insurance policy.
Thank you.
Another question?
Would we be informed after, the public be informed after the litigation is complete and the settlement is made?
Councilman, may I respond? Informed of what?
What the charges were?
We will respond to all requests. Dr. Yoder, if you'd like a copy of the original complaint, I can certainly provide that for you if you ask for it. I can provide that to you by email. I know we've done that in the past. I'd certainly be able to give you that. That's a public document anyway.
Well, I would like it, but I was just wondering whether the public itself would be so informed.
Well, any member of the public can make an open request for any document that's not subject to attorney-client privilege. In this case, if you're looking for the original complaint, if you're asking for the allegations, that is available to anyone at any time.
Thank you. I would like to.
Seeing no further, may I have a motion to close public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any objections?
Council President, tonight's consent agenda has been identified as resolutions R-173-18 through R-178-18 and R-189-18 through R-203-18.
May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Roll call, please.
So roll call on the consent agenda. Council members Good,
Yes.
Hockaday,
Yes.
Towers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
Consent agenda has been approved.
Mr. Clerk, would you please read the remaining resolutions for consideration appearing under administrative and executive branch?
Resolution R-179-18 is granting the advice and consent of the appointment of Luis Calagni to serve as a member of the Plainfield Alcohol Beverage Control Board.
May I have a motion to approve? So moved.
Seconded.
Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Resolution R-180-18 is granted the advice and consent to the appointment of Pixie Williams to serve as a member of the Plainfield Youth Commission.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Resolution R-181-18 authorizing the designation of Cynthia Blake to serve as the city's qualified purchasing agent.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Resolution R-182-18 awarding a contract in amount not to exceed $65,000 to Comcast.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Seconded.
Question. How much airtime will this get us?
As far as airtime, and I'm looking at the report that we got from Comcast, what I can tell you, the airtime, I have the airtime dates, which it will be all the way from May 14th today and ending in December 30th, 2018. And I can tell you that we're going to have different systems, Comcast system, in Plainfield, Union North, Union Central, Union South, Far Hills, Middlesex, and all Comcast maps and links in the internet. Also, we're gonna be on Fios, and that will be Lower Middlesex, Somerset, Morris, Union, Upper Middlesex, Passaic, Essex, and again, all Fios maps from that system. We will also be in RCN Systems, New York City, and as far as we will be on digital TV as well in Union, Middlesex, Somerset, Morris, Passaic, Essex County, in New York, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and that's what we're going to get for that amount. As far as hours is concerned, I can find out, but I can tell you.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution R-183-18 authorizing settlement in the matter of Eugene Goldstein versus the City of Plainfield.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Resolution R-184-18 is authorizing an additional appropriation for Ruderman, Horn, and Esmeralda.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Resolution R 185-18, authorizing settlement in the matter of Jeffrey Courtney versus the City of Plainfield.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Resolution R 186-18 is authorizing amendments to the calendar year 2018 Plainfield operating budget.
Would the administration please explain these amendments?
Yes, good evening, council. In terms of revenues, we are asking to incorporate grants, that are an additional $161,857.71. And we have been told by the state that we need to add an additional $89,000 in debt service coverage. So we are bringing forward to you the amendments to reflect the additional grant revenues as well as the $89,000 in debt service. There'll be no change in the tax rate.
May I have a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed?
Resolution R 187-18 is requesting authorization to execute an agreement with T-Mobile.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second? You gonna get a
I
second?
moved it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed?
Resolution R 188-18 is ratifying the execution of an agreement between the city and the Plainfield FMBA Local 7.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We now come to the ordinance on first reading. Mr. Clerk, will you please read ordinance MC 2018-16 by title?
MC 2018-16 is an ordinance amending the schedule of salaries and wages adopted pursuant to Article 14, Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plainfield, New Jersey, 1971. It's a salary amendment for the FMBA Local 7.
I will now entertain a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Council members Good.
Yes.
Hockenday.
Yes.
Tolliver.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom.
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on first reading.
Mr. Clerk, will you please read ordinance MC 2018-17 by title?
MC 2018-17 is an ordinance authorizing the sale of various city-owned properties less than the minimum lot size to the contiguous property owner who submits the highest bid.
I will now entertain a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading. So moved.
Second.
Mr. Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Council members Good.
Yes.
Hockenday.
Yes.
Tolliver.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom.
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
This ordinance has been adopted on first reading.
Mr. Clerk, will you please read ordinance MC 2018-18 by title?
MC 2018-18 is an ordinance granting Title 39 jurisdiction to the City of Plainfield over roads and parking lots located at the properties known as 700 through 712 West 3rd Street /214-16 Spooner Avenue, identified as Block 113, Lot 14.01.
I will now entertain a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Council members Good.
Yes.
Hockenday.
Yes.
Tolliver.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Mills Ransom.
Yes.
Council President McCray.
Yes.
That is unanimous. This ordinance has been adopted on first reading. A public hearing on these ordinances will take place at the next combined meeting of the City Council. Will be held on Monday, June 18th, 2018.
A total of 60 minutes has been allocated for all public comments to be presented. If you wish to be heard, please give your name and address to the clerk For the record, the amount of time any single speaker is allocated will be limited to 5 minutes.
Good evening, Timothy Priano, Martin Avenue. Wanted to report on our cleanup on May 6th. We had a great cleanup. We had over 50 residents on Front Street from the west end to the east end meeting downtown. We set up everything with the city. They were fine. I talked to John Luis, talked to PNUA. They couldn't help us because they're under contract and they don't work on Sundays. But they advised us if we piled all our trash up, they would pick it up 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning. I had a call at 11 o'clock and the trash was still piled up all down the streets, at Front Street. We're doing so well to try and keep things clean that it's sad that PMUA can't keep their end of the bargain up. Diane Tolliver, Linda Carter, and Richard Wyatt were out there, and we had the Vikings, the Plainfield Vikings, we had PAWS, we had a whole group of people. But the biggest problem we came up with, and this is what I was told by PMUA, is why do downtown when we clean it 5 days a week? The biggest amount of trash we collected was between Central and Richmond, and it was just piles and piles of trash. And this comes to the next question, why PMUA still hasn't put enough trash cans out, and no one picks up trash after 5 o'clock on Friday night until Monday morning. So our whole weekend, our downtown all weekend long is strewed with trash. There's not enough bins, and PMUA says they're working on it, but we've been waiting for this whole thing to happen, that the trash will be collected. We're planning to do another one on June 10th on a Sunday, and we really want to focus on downtown because that's the key to the city. And so what we're going to do downtown from 7th to Front Street on Watchung and Park, but we don't want to burn everyone out because there's so much trash downtown, and it doesn't make sense. Why the weekends? No one's picking up anything with PMUA, and I know that's your decision on the council to try and tell PMUA to at least do pickups, but they say they don't pick up on the weekends, and it's sad because that's our jewel of the city. Secondary different note is about the money we do for settlements. I understand that they come through insurance, but we're still paying huge amounts of money in legal fees that come out of our taxpayers' dollars. So we have to figure out a way. We keep on spending money, but we're still racking up tons of legal bills as we do all this. And there's got to be some sort of reasoning why we keep spending legal, and that's our tax dollars going out the door. And that's all I have. Thank you.
John E. Pritchard, formerly of 723 Arlington Avenue, Plainfield, now 42-44 West Holly Street, Cranford. Several things I'd like to bring to the council's attention. First off, it is already May, and once again, Memorial Day will be upon us. It behooves us to think of those who are defending our freedom and serving our country, many times far from home. We failed to back our men during the war in Vietnam, and we lost 16 men from there. 16 men from Plainfield lost their lives fighting for our country. And those who returned, they were called Nazis, murderers, baby killers. I'd like to see that word Nazi retired once and for all. It's just as bad as that other N word, of course, which I will not use. The poor brave soldier in there despised, nor count him as a stranger. Remember, he's his country's stay in day and hour of danger. And the other thing, we need to reactivate Muhlenberg Hospital. We need a medical center in Plainfield, and we need it ASAP. We don't want to tear it down. Whoever made that stupid decision, that's a bone in play. We need that hospital. What if another 9/11 attack occurs? Let's not forget that on September 11, 2001, nearly 3,000 of our people have been slaughtered like hogs in a pen. What if another 9/11 attack occurs? We'll need that hospital, we'll need many others very, very badly. The sooner we reactivate Muhlenberg, the better off we all will be. Do I make myself clear?
Good evening. Norman Muhammad, 23 Westville Avenue, Plainfield, New Jersey. resident of the city of Plainfield for 57 years now, predominantly in the 1st and 4th Ward. I just want to take a moment of my allotted time in memoriam of one of my mentors, the Honorable Gerald B. Green, who recently passed away, which we're all aware of. So I'm going to take 30 seconds of my allotted time for silence in memorial of my mentor, Sylvain Green. Thank you. I'd like to thank all the council members, elected officials who came out April 4th to our 50th year anniversary recognizing the unfortunate assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. The reason why I say I appreciate all the members who came out publicly, the elected officials, but also the members of the city who took time out of their busy schedules to participate in our event is because, like the 50th anniversary of the Plainfield Rebellion, we have our events on the corner of Plainfield Avenue and 4th Street. When I say we, I'm referring to our organization, the Plainfield Anti-Violence Coalition. And the reason why we picked that location specifically, because it's a blighted area. It's been blighted for over 50 years now. But it represents a wound that needs attention, a wound that needs a balm, a healing balm, a salve. And by members of the community coming out and supporting us and participating, that served as a balm. It serves as a salve to pay attention, to start the process of healing the wound in that blighted area, corner of Plainfield Avenue, 4th Street. Thank you. In that same vein, I'd like to read an article from the Courier News. It's dated August 12, 1983. It's entitled, "The King Plaza Dedication Set." The pedestrian plaza at the corner of Church and East Front Street will be dedicated in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on August 20th, 1983. The movement to name the plaza in memory of the slain civil rights leader was spearheaded by Councilwoman Helen Miller. Helen Miller said it was past time the city bestowed such an honor on an African American whose conviction to his beliefs was strong enough to effect positive emotional, educational, employment, economic, and other changes upon the nation. King would be the first African American to have a street in the city of Plainfield named in his honor. A dedication ceremony will be held at 10 a.m. in front of the YWCA, 232 East Front Street. Among invited guests are the late great Mayor Everett C. Lattimore, Newark Mayor Kenneth Gibson. A reception will be held at the Grand Community Center, etc., etc., etc. The reason why I read this article from 1983 is here we are in 2018, and if you go past that area, there's no signage reflection, the dedication, the hard work, the sacrifice of life of Dr. Martin Luther King. And we just passed the 50th year of his assassination. I think that it's almost embarrassing that we have no signage, no plaque, no memorial reflecting the sacrifice that this great man has made. This was a move in about way of ordinance by the City Council in 1983. So if there's any way that we could address this, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Moving right along. South Avenue, the Quinn Project. If it's possible, Mr. Sanchez, I know Ms. Val, you just got here in the city of Plainfield. I see you out there in the public, doing your due diligence, working hard, and I appreciate your hard work that I've seen you display since you've been here. But in reference to the South Avenue Quinn Project, per the abatement agreement, can I get some numbers reflecting how many locals been hired, how many local businesses has participated, how many contractors has been on that site per the agreement that says that there would be locals involved in portions of the project as it goes ahead into completion. If I can get those numbers tonight, if not soon afterward, I'll greatly appreciate that because economic development is greatly appreciated.
Sorry, your time is up.
Okay, can I get those numbers, please? Expeditiously, thank you.
Nancy Pure, 1129 Myrtle Avenue. I want to go back to R 18218 about the contract with Comcast. When is that going to be launched and who actually is doing the videotaping? The reason I bring this up is because I don't know whether or not you're aware, but Union County just received 2 national awards for education and for what they've done with the signage, with the Crossroads for the American Revolution, and the signs saying that we're part of that, and also historic Union County, and when the signs are entering into our city, people actually see them. I also would like to know when that's going to be launched, because I keep track of internet hits at the Historical Society. Last year we had over 30,000 internet hits. This weekend I have to send out a packet of historical information to internationally to Ukraine, because we had a young man who wanted some information about our city. So if you could let me know when the launch is, I'll be able to track the number of hits if I get an increase of hits at the Historical Society, because I've been keeping those hits every month, you know, for the past 2 or 3 years. And like I said, we're going to surpass 30,000 because we're already up to about 10,000 already, and we're not even through half the year already. So if you can let me know when that's going to happen so I can track it for you, I'd be happy to provide you with that information. Thank you very much.
Good evening, my name is Mike Ramos from 239 Park Avenue. I'm a business owner. I'm here with a friend of mine who lives at 731 South Avenue. His concern is that it's been about 5 years that he purchased his house, and after he purchased the house, the market crashed. But he's been receiving these letters that either the city's going to take over the properties in that area, or they're going to take it. So it's kind of uncomfortable to live in a house knowing that it might be taken away from them, you know. So we need something to happen either now or tomorrow. But 5 years, it seems a little disturbing to a family that lives in that area. Are you going to take this property away from him? Are you going to do a redevelopment? And on another note, our 20118 on this conducting investigation, how much is it going to cost to investigate? Because investigating to see if the area is in need of redevelopment, is that a way to get grants to the redevelopers, or you know, that's taxpayers' money. You have our 202 and 201 that's conducting investigations. How much is this going to cost the city?
Mr. Ramos, in reference to that, I will ask you to please come to my office. I'm the city administrator in the first floor. I would like to see the letter. I don't have any knowledge of any letters that we have sent out. We're not looking to take anybody's property by doing any of the redevelopment that we're doing. In fact, one of the mechanisms that we use in doing redevelopment, we have to let residents at front if we intend to do eminent domain or non-eminent domain. And everything that we have done so far is non-eminent domain. So I would like to see a specific letter, because it could be probably for something else, maybe for taxes or violations or anything like that. And that's a whole something that we can discuss privately, so that we can go into the details. As far as the cost of doing the studies, it varies depending on the areas. But I just want to let you know that every time, any money that we spend doing the studies or doing the redevelopment plan for any area, once we identify a developer, that developer reimburses the city for anything that we have spent up to that day to get that property, that site. You asked if that attracts grants for the developers. It just attracts more developers. It attracts more investors. And it does attract the possibility of they being able to qualify for some federal monies, such as the New Markets Tax Credits program that is very valuable when doing development.
All right, seeing no more public comment, may I